friends, Dave here with Transfer Express, and today we are talking about how you could easily achieve embroidered looks with zero effort, embroidery machines, or even thread. And all of this with just your heat press. That's right, there's no digitizing software needed. By using the free EasyView online designer at transferexpress.com, and just one click of the mouse, you can match that embroidered look with any full color heat transfer option. So are you ready? Let's get to stitching. If you are new to Transfer Express, we are the world's largest supplier of custom screen printed and digital heat transfers, heat presses, free customizable designs, wholesale apparel, and expert advice to help grow your t-shirt business. If you haven't already, subscribe. We're kicking out new videos like this one every single week. Now today we are talking about Simbroidery, which is essentially a faux embroidery effect. We're going to take your file, digitize it as if it's going to be embroidered, then we're going to add some shadows and highlights to the thread to give it a realistic 3D effect, and bam, your artwork is transformed with an awesome embroidered look. Now this works on pretty much any file type. Easy Prints artwork, the clip art in the designer or the layouts, or your own uploaded art. Now this effect is perfect for emulating that embroidered look for a fraction of the cost, adding texture to designs, and even for some of those hard to embroider options like those weird backpacks, specialty tote bags, or anything else that's not going to be fitting in an embroidery hoop, but could fit on your heat press. Now, ordering heat transfers with this embroidered look couldn't be easier. So let's click on over to the EasyView online designer at transferexpress.com, and I'll show you how we can make it happen. Now that we're here in the online designer, be sure to have a full color transfer type selected. Now, as cool as this Simbroidery effect is, it's not available on our screen printed Plastisol ink transfers. So be sure to have the correct transfer type selected right here on the bottom left of the screen. Now we're going to click on print method here, select full color, and switch us over to our UltraColor Max transfers. Once we've got our transfer type selected, we could add our artwork. Here for my example, I'm just adding a whole variety of stuff to the gang sheet here for our transfers. But I really am doing this so I could show you the best case scenarios and some best practices for your best results. Now you could build your designs using the thousands of pieces of customizable layouts here, or clip art, or just simply upload your own vector or raster files. I'm talking JPEGs, SVGs, PDFs, PSDs, TIFFs, etc. We pretty much take them all. Once we set all of our sizing and colors along with our quantity, we could click over to our next button here on the bottom right. And now in the options step, right here at the top of the left side menu, we've got a button for Simbroidery. One easy click. Now, if you don't want the whole sheet to get the Simbroidery effect, which is the default, you could specify which designs on your gang sheet you do want the Simbroidery effect on. For example, just type in Simbroidery only on the eagle, if you only want it on the eagle. Now you could also note that you just want the effect applied to the entire art on the sheet here as well, if that's the case. Now here with our UltraColor Max transfer selected, you'll notice when we click next, the order is going to automatically switch over to a proof, with Approve for Artist selected down here on the bottom right. This is also going to automatically adjust the price for a proof at $22. One tip to help save you money: include any art that you want digitized for the Simbroidery effect here all on one sheet with UltraColor Max. That way you could avoid multiple $22 proof charges. Now speaking of these art charges, these are exclusive only to UltraColor Max. UltraColor Pro, Soft, and Stretch do not have any art fees associated with it, especially if you want to add Simbroidery. Any art time or prep is included in the price of the transfers. Now this is just to help keep costs low at just 6 cents a square inch with our UltraColor Max transfers. So any artwork fixes or adding this rad embroidery effect are available for just that small fee. Now for our UltraColor Max order here, once we add to cart and check out, we're going to keep an eye on our email for the proof coming through. Once it arrives, we can review it and approve for it to be printed. Now, proofs are going to be ready for review within 1 business day if the order is placed before production cutoff. You can check all of those times on our current production cutoff and turn times right down there in the description. We'll put a link. Now, once we approve our proof, it's off to printing. UltraColor Max turnaround times are the next business day if ordered before midnight Eastern. So it is just a tiny little short wait. Lightning fast transfers. Now, while we're waiting, it's worth a note, for ordering the Simbroidery effect with UltraColor Pro soft or stretch transfers, your order is going to ship on the same date shown in the designer when you're ordering your transfers. No added time to your order's turnaround whatsoever. And now that our transfers have arrived, let's get to printing and take a look at this Simbroidery. The first step is just going to be to cut out any elements here on our gang sheet that we want printed. I'm going to print a whole smattering of them here so that we can see exactly what this looks like on a few different apparel options. Using our UltraColor Max direct-to-film transfers, we're going to press these at 290 degrees for just 15 seconds. No need for a second press or covering and repressing. One press with a quick and easy hot peel, our transfers are applied. Now, doesn't this just look so cool? It gives you that embroidered look without the effort of actually embroidering, and it feels nice and soft with these UltraColor Max transfers. Now, for some examples here, you can see some look better than others. First off, I do want to mention any photorealistic or super highly detailed images, like this little shark guy riding a jet ski, it wouldn't work out for embroidery with all of this detail. And with the simulated embroidery, you could see that you're not able to achieve all of that detail or those gradients that you get in the file with the actual stitching itself. So this is going to be something that you're going to want to avoid. Now, if you do have that complicated image with a lot of detail, but things are still kind of spot colors, like this eagle that we have right here, wow, did that turn out absolutely incredible. You can see the highlights and the shadows on the stitching through the wings here, and all of these like feathers, I guess you could call them, down to the talons and even the fills here in the tail and the head and the beak of this eagle. Really, really cool. Now, one thing though that you will notice is that some of the larger areas, will say the fill stitch here on white is very visible, but sometimes, depending on how fine of a line or how thin it is, the white kind of disappears, where you just almost get like this shadow effect, which is great. But you could see on like colors here, like this dusty rose or maroon, or that you could definitely see a lot more detail in the stitching, as well as this fine text and the fill over that white color. Even here, you have this like gradient and these divisions in the sky that get a little bit stitched, and you see a little bit of the dimension in there, but the fills from each one of these is absolutely incredible. The ones on the trees here with the outer line just looks so cool for a highly detailed image. And this is stuff that you're going to be able to see when you do order the proof, so that you could see if it looks good or if you want to have it changed before you produce it. Here with black and white, you have the fill and a little bit of stitching, but you'll see the stitching come through much more when it's crossing over a dark color, as opposed to like this outer line. Let's shift on over to our black shirt here. Now you can see here on some of this white text, it is a very subtle effect. You see a little bit of the thread in that shadowing, and so it gives it that embroidered look without turning the white color into more of a gray. Here in large areas, you can see the patterned fill stitch a little bit more than you can say on this outer edge, where it's going to have that contour shift. But here on the Bennett Logistics, you can see where the letters come together to really give it that embroidered look. And the same here for Blue Ridge right here, with a nice shadow and highlight on these colored areas. Here's an example of black on black. This was black ink, so you do get that nice sheen and shine of a tone on tone with the highlights coming through on that faux stitching. How cool. Over here on a polo, the Velocity logo, real nice and subtle, but you could see some of that stitching detail in the edge here through the V and that gradient that's just not able to be achieved with traditional thread. Here on the fine text, it totally looks like it's embroidered. How cool is that? And it's not. Now here with like this Raiders hat, we do have white as the fill and kind of like this simulated outer lock here on the tail of this script. And man, does that just look absolutely incredible, especially on a foam front trucker hat that's nice and lightweight, almost like a screen print. you get that same embroidered effect. How cool is that? And that script and tail just looks fantastic. Now this effect looks awesome on everything from headwear to work shirts, tees, hoodies, accessories, and more. It's never been easier or cheaper to get that embroidered look, all without threads or needles. Now, thanks for watching. As always, be sure you're subscribed here to the Transfer Express YouTube page to stay up to date on all of the t-shirt business tips, tricks, and inspiration that we're dropping every single week. But until next time, I'm Dave. Happy pressing.